Hey sports fans, my name's Connor Bennion. I'm the host of the Babbling Bennion. Welcome to episode number 6. Today is October 21st, 2022. I'm just going to make a relatively short episode, and it's all going to be about these guys on my chest. Team USA, the World Cup is underway. The first World Cup action that has featured the United States since 2014. And spoiler alert, it wasn't quite the way you hope it goes. And I'm going to break it down. There was a lot of good, a lot of bad. So Team USA pulls themselves to a 1-1 draw. And I shouldn't say pulls themselves. I really should say drops a 1-1 draw with Wales. This was a USA team that came in. Again, they had not seen World Cup action since 2014. They did not qualify for the 2018 World Cup. And the thing that I wanted to go back super quick on about the 2014 World Cup was the fact that that team from Team USA, the US men's national team, that was a team that emerged from what you would call the group of death, is the common term in the World Cup. A group of 4 teams that consisted of some really great soccer teams and great soccer players. From that group, in 2014, that the U.S. men's national team was put into was the eventual champion in Germany. USA, who was second in the group, who had goal scorers like Clint Dempsey, tied for the highest scorer in U.S. men's national team history, tied with the great Landon Donovan. So that's great company. But they had players like Clint Dempsey. I believe they had Jose Altidore up front. They had Kyle Beckerman in the midfield, Graham Zusi. In the goal was the great Tim Howard, arguably the greatest United States goalkeeper of all time. I mean, it was a tremendous United States team, one that I was not surprised that emerged from the group as the runner-up. Who'd they beat? Portugal, with the Cristiano Ronaldo. In 2014, Cristiano Ronaldo was arguably the best player in the world, if not the best, second best behind Lionel Messi. Like, emerging from the group of death with 4th place Ghana, who was no pushover, especially with the trouble that they gave Team USA. The thing about Team USA was missing the World Cup in 2018 was a major disappointment for the reason and purpose that the 2014 team had such promise and really had a great game. They ended up losing, I believe it was 2-1, maybe it was 1-0 against Belgium in the knockout round. But I look at Team USA today and I say it's great to have them back. They are I almost said they are, and then I was going to say 3 things. 3 things I'm going to say about this team, and one of them that I'm going to start with is what I was going to just say that I kind of interrupted myself on. This USA team is the 2nd youngest roster at the World Cup. This is an incredibly young team. Only one player, obviously, has seen World Cup action. That was DeAndre Yedlin. He was part of the 2014 team. He is part of this 2022 World Cup roster. So incredibly young team. Nobody except DeAndre Yedlin has been at the World Cup. And even Greg Berhalter, the head coach for Team USA, even wasn't, part of that 2014 World Cup team. So I look at this USA team, and again, spoiler alert, if you don't know, 1-1 draw. This was USA's game from the beginning, in the way of they had some amazing opportunities, almost got an own goal, almost forced Wales into an own goal within the first 10 minutes of the game, had another great opportunity that was a great save. I believe it was Robinson who had a shot on goal. The U.S. they continuously held the ball, they determined the tempo, and they were pounding away at Wales until finally Tim Weah gets I cannot express how tremendous his scoring opportunity was, how his goal, it was a tremendous goal, but I cannot ignore the fact that Christian Pulisic, the future of U.S. soccer, and really could arguably be the greatest United States soccer player of all time, with only being the youngest United States player to ever appear in the World Cup, just a couple weeks shy of his 20th birthday. The dude's 19, and he's arguably going to be the greatest U.S. soccer player of all time. The dude plays in the Premier League for, I believe it's Chelsea. The dude has wild skills, and he was the one who sets up Tim Weah to score the first goal for the United States, not only in this game, but obviously for the first time since 2014 in World Cup action. Unbelievable. The game, I believe, was a 35th, 36-minute goal. Team USA finally breaks through. They controlled the tempo. They go into the half, and they come out in the second half, and things had just changed. Wales became on the attack. I think Wales, to their credit, and same with USA, knew really if someone straight up won this game, they were going to advance with more than likely England. Because, all due respect to Iran, they are the fourth team in the group. Just a quick note, it's England is one. And I wanted to make the mention, if I remember seeing correctly, Team England is fifth in the world FIFA rankings. And then it's Team USA at 19, Wales at 20, no, sorry. I believe USA is 15th, Wales is 16th, and Iran is 20. And so with Iran, they're the fourth team. Wales is quote-unquote third, Team USA second, England one. Those are the four teams in this group. And it really came down to, you think, okay, we can beat Iran. Both teams are thinking they're going to beat Iran. Both teams kind of think, let's not bank on beating England, so let's bank on beating the other team and at least giving ourselves an option to advance out of the group, even if it's second place behind England. Both teams coming with a 1-1 draw shakes everything up, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Later on, game is going. Wales really controlled the tempo. They controlled the ball. They had momentum. And in the 85th minute, and I don't want to harp on it too much, Tim Ream had a really rather disappointing and unneeded challenge in the penalty box on Gareth Bale, one of the greatest, I mean, by far the best soccer player in Wales history, and just an absolute monster. He has seen major success throughout his entire career. He draws the penalty for, again, what was really not needed from Ream. He, trying to explain if you didn't see it, Gareth Bale's back was to the goal, and so like if his back was to the goal, Ream kind of slid in between his legs and made complete contact, but didn't need to make that type of play. He could have let it play out. It set up a penalty kick in the 85th minute, and then Gareth Bale. It's interesting that Turner in the goal went the same way, even got a hand on it, but the pure strength and power of Bale was too much, and it went into the back of the net, and it's a 1-1 draw. What opens up some very interesting things is a second point, and that is now it all, to me, kind of comes down to what are we going to see in the next two games in regards to scoring. And that is important to me, not only because, I mean, obviously you want to win both games. The goal is to win over England. Yeah, I know what that sounds like. That's the goal, though. The goal is to beat England. And we'll talk about that in a second. The goal is to beat England on Friday. The day after Thanksgiving, that is the goal. And then beat Iran, of course. You don't want to lose. You don't want to draw. You want to win. That is the goal, to beat England, to beat Iran. That's the goal. Should those not come to pass, the next step is scoring as many goals as possible, increasing that goal differential. And the reason I take a deep breath and I say we need to just relax is because right now, all that matters is, again, playing England and doing your best to beat them. And if you don't beat them, making sure that you find a way to draw and keep your goal differential at 0. Again, a win is the best, but goal differential in soccer is the determining factor. And the reason that this is so important is because England scores 6 goals on Iran. They win 6-2. Wales gets the benefit of playing Iran next and watching the US play England. And this is so crucial. It's so important because if, and this is what I don't want to say this is what I think is going to happen. Let me do a hypothetical and then we'll talk about what I think is going to happen. Hypothetically, Team USA, sorry, I keep saying Team USA, the US and Wales, they tie 1-1. Hypothetically, let's say Team USA loses to England. Let's say they lose to them. And I think that's important because I think England is going to beat Wales. So let's say England goes 3-0 in the group. They beat Wales. They beat USA. They beat Wales. If they beat USA and they beat Wales, the only difference is going to be the goal differential. Because I believe Wales is going to beat Iran. And I think USA is going to beat Iran. And if that's the case, and if both teams either tie or lose to England, the difference maker is going to be how many goals did you score and how many goals did you allow. So the goal differential gets huge. Again, knock on wood, and this is where the topic, this is where the debate, this is where kind of I wanted to hop on the Babbling Bennion and say this. And I hope this doesn't age badly, and I hope this isn't the karma as soccer gods coming after me. The reason I'm not panicking, and this doesn't make any sense, but I do believe with all of my heart and fervent prayer, Friday is going to be a turning page for U.S. soccer because I do believe that they are going to beat England. And I get it. Boy, do I get it. I was talking with my family yesterday when we were watching football, and I said, sometimes all that matters, you can't see, but I'm pounding my gut, is your gut. What is your gut telling you? And the thing about my gut is the fact that if USA were to beat England on Friday, again, not only could USA advance out of the group at second place and really put themselves in a great position to advance out of the group in second place, but they're in a position to win the group should they win on Friday. Should they lose, again, it all goes to goal differential. Should they tie, I feel like they're a little step ahead of Wales in the way of, I don't see Wales tying with England. I think Wales is going to, they tied today. I think they're going to beat Iran. I think they're going to tie. Oh, sorry. I think they're going to beat Iran, and then I think they're going to lose straight up to England. So if that's the case, again, that is a 5-point group stage, which is tremendous. I think USA is going to beat Iran, getting them 3 points. They already tied to Wales. That's 4 points. If they can find a way on Friday to beat England, straight up beat, no tie, straight up beat England, I believe that they'll win that group. I really do. So point number 1 was we have to step back and realize that Team USA is the second youngest roster in the World Cup. That showed today. That really showed today. That was point number 1. Point number 2 is the fact that Team USA is still in this. They still have a great opportunity not only to advance, but still win the group because of Friday's game. And there is just something hopefully positively different about this U.S. squad. Again, part of it, I would argue, is the fact that we've missed them from the World Cup. We didn't get that opportunity to see them in 2018, which was, by the way, a streak that ended 7 consecutive appearances from, I'm making sure I get this right, from 1990 to 2014. Team USA qualified for the World Cup 7 years in a row. To not see them at 2018 was a heart-ripping defeat. It was terrible to see them miss the World Cup. They are back, and I hope and pray that they're back with a vengeance and ready. Because if you win your group, you go into the knockout stage with a much more favorable opportunity and a first round match in the knockout stage. So point number 2 is not only is Team USA still alive in the World Cup, but they still have an opportunity to win this group. And again, as we've seen on those great commercials with the great John Hamm dressed as Santa Claus, all we want for Christmas this year, because it's a very unique opportunity playing in November, is to see a United States World Cup win. Do I think they're going to win the World Cup? We'll talk about that another episode. But I do believe the miracles and magic of Thanksgiving are somehow going to crawl over into Qatar. And I like Team USA on Friday over England. I have no reason to say that. Like, and that's what I think is interesting. That's why I'm doing this on the Babbling Bennion. I have no reason to tell you why they would win, why they should win, why they should be favored. Because, I mean, straight up, they're not favored. But something about this team, the knit, the grit, the opportunities, again, that they created for themselves to beat Wales in a very young team in a World Cup appearance again for all but one that it was their first opportunity. I think they genuinely have a chance. And I genuinely think that they are somehow going to find a way to win on Friday. Again, on Friday, I've got the United States men's national team in World Cup play defeating England, pulling off a huge upset and putting them at the top of the leaderboard in Group B. Should Wales not outscore Team USA's goal differential, which is a very real possibility. I think that's another thing that's super important to quickly make a note of, not to make a point of, but let's say Team USA, let's say they win on Friday, but they only win by 1 goal. If they win by, like, let's say they win 2-1, right? If they were to win 2-1 on Friday, but Wales was to beat Iran by more than a goal, it would be Wales at the top of the group, unbelievably. So, which would be interesting because that would open the door for England to absolutely blow off the doors of Wales and help us in our goal differential. So, something to keep your eye on without any question, obviously, is that other group match between Wales and Iran, which I believe, let me pull up on my app, the schedule, which I believe is also on Friday. Oh, sorry. Iran and Wales. Oh, sorry, this is not. This stupid thing did not go where I was expecting it to go. Iran and Wales play on the. Sorry, guys. I'm like looking for where the flip this schedule is. You know, it's sad. I was looking at the wrong day the whole time. Anyway, sorry. Iran and Wales actually play before the United States. They play at 3 a.m. our time. 3 a.m. Mountain Time is what I should say. So that's going to be incredibly crucial for the United States to know what happens, you know, between Wales and Iran. And then on the 29th, I believe it is, both teams play again. Wales and England play at the same exact time of Iran and the United States. And that just, again, becomes crucial because the United States need to keep an eye on that score and figure out how that game's going as well. But again, ultimately, going back, the goal is to beat England. The goal is to beat Iran. That's the goal. So, point number 1, Team USA, second youngest team at the World Cup in age. It showed today. Point number 2, not only is the US's World Cup run over, their group stage winning run is not over. They still have that opportunity. The third thing that I wanted to bring up, And this isn't, I'm not trying to make an excuse, I'm just trying to make a point of almost setting expectations. And that is this expectation. USA is not soccer. It just isn't. The United States sport is not soccer. Not only in the way of, it's not soccer in the way of the king in the United States is gridiron football, but I also mean, I think on the international stage, basketball is United States. I would say baseball, softball, they're United States. Soccer is not the United States. But with that being said, I still think that we need to acknowledge that fact that soccer is not our greatest strong suit and not our greatest team, at least on the men's side. The women's side obviously is the greatest in the world, and they've showed it in their World Cups. But for the men's side, because it's not our greatest sport, let's keep our expectations and hopes and dreams realistic in the way that, again, what's a realistic expectation? And I'm talking about that right now because the Babbling Bennion, my plan is to do an episode today. My plan is to review the USA-England game on Friday. And then my plan is to review the USA-Iran game on the Babbling Bennion so I can give you my biased views so I can also review all of them because obviously my other podcast, Unbiased, which plays Tuesdays tomorrow, I won't be able to cover Team USA. I won't be able to cover their Iran match. And so I want to talk about Team USA on the Babbling Bennion. And as we're talking about expectations, and we'll talk about them as they continue throughout the World Cup, is realistically getting out of the group stage is a major victory. Huge victory, considering we didn't qualify in the 2018 World Cup. Getting to the knockout stage right now for me is the goal. That is the goal. That is the expectation that we set. Get to the knockout stage. Now, when you get to the knockout stage, I feel like you can reassess your goals because Team USA, if I understand correctly, if I saw the bracket correctly, they're in a quite favorable opportunity to win their first knockout stage game, which again would be huge. To me, that exceeds expectations. This is a US team that has players, and I wanted to bring up their starting 11. Let me break down our starting 11 for Team USA. In goal, and I'm trying to get first names, so I'm gonna pull up our roster. Maybe it'll be faster if I have it on my iPad. In goal, this is our starting 11. In goal, Matt Turner. Sorry, it'll be easier and better and make more sense if I pull it out this way. Here we go. What I wanted to get up, bring to the attention, was the fact that Matt Turner's in goal, and you're talking about an international goalie. Seeing success, had some time in the MLS and had major success. Matt Turner in goal. Serginho Dest, Walker Zimmerman, Anthony Robinson, Tim Ream. Midfield is Tyler Adams, wore the captain's armband today. Yunus Musa and Weston McKennie. Forwards, Christian Pulisic, Tim Way, the goal scorer, and Josh Sargent. Subs that we saw today, Brandon Aronson, Jordan Morris, Haji Wright, DeAndre Yedlin, and Kellen Acosta. I list off that roster, and I say Team USA has great opportunities. They have great potential. Is another thing that we're going to bring up, and we'll talk about as this goes through. The biggest reason I wanted to get on and review this game today is because, yes, it was hard. I will admit it was hard to see them do what they did for as long as they did, just to see this game end in a 1-1 draw after a back-breaking 85th minute penalty allowed goal. But you gotta believe, come Friday, when I get to speak with you again, I am praying that I'll be wearing my other USA jersey. I bought their new jersey. I bought both their new jerseys. Bought their white one, bought their blue ones in my closet. I bought both of them. I'm pumped for this World Cup run. Come Friday, I pray that I will be able to be speaking with you as Team USA has come off a victory against England. That's my prayer and my hope. I hope that you've enjoyed this Babbling Bennion episode. Above all, I hope that I've babbled about why there is hope and great opportunity and nothing but potential and greatness to come for Team USA at the World Cup. Again, a 1-1 draw is tough, especially the way it came. But come Friday, Friday, U.S. men's national team, England, they meet for arguably the winner of Group B in the World Cup. It's a great opportunity. Looking forward to it. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving. And again, hopefully next time I speak with you, Team USA is victorious. U.S. men's national team. The United States men's national team, hopefully, is victorious over the mighty England. Should that be the case, Team USA is going to be in a great position to advance out of the World Cup Group B as the winner. USA! This has been episode 6 of the Babbling Bennion. I've been your host, Mr. Connor Bennion. Thank you. Have a great day. And again, have a happy Thanksgiving. And see you Friday.